What's up, it's Big Man. I got Devon Franklin and Kirk Franklin, no relation here.
And this
Is
a Radio 1
original.
digital. Yo, this is Big Man with Radio 1 Digital. I'm here with Kirk Franklin and Devon Franklin. And
Franklin and Franklin.
Franklin
That's
and Franklin,
right.
no relation.
No relation.
None.
Or maybe,
None.
you know what I mean?
None.
And
None. The kingdom.
No, if there was, I'd be a little taller.
And I would be more musically inclined. But I ain't got no melodies from heaven.
And I could use just a little bit of height.
It's
Just a little bit.
I understand that.
Because I sit all the way back, my feet swing.
Y'all pray for Kirk.
Well, you guys kind of broke the internet, yesterday with the news that came out that Devon, you'll be co-producing a biopic about this man right here.
Yes.
Talk to me about how this partnership got together, or they're doing a biopic about you, right?
I just
Okay.
No, even though here's what happened. I mean, first of all, I've been a fan. We're brothers, but even beyond that, like a fan of the music, his life, everything. So
he was a PA assistant on the God's Property Stump video.
can you believe
Really?
that? Way back in the day when I was just trying to make it
Isn't
in
that
film,
crazy?
Right.
Isn't that crazy?
I
He
was
told me
PAing
that.
on the video
And
set.
we didn't
even know each other.
We didn't even know each
Okay.
other.
And so years
Is that not
later,
bananas?
isn't that crazy?
The connection.
Yes. So the connection goes all the way back.
You didn't know that, did you?
So years later, at Sony Pictures, making films like The Pursuit of Happiness and The Karate Kid, and Sony Pictures, is underneath the umbrella of Sony overall, and RCA is a division of Sony. And so I had known Kirk and we've been cool, but it was the heads of RCA that came to me and said, "Yo, what about doing a movie about Kirk?" And I said, "Yes, genius."
Come on.
So we got together, we started talking about it, and we've really been putting the plans together for some time.
And I had no idea that's how it happened.
That's how it happened. That was the genesis for me
I had no.
when they came to me.
So they came to you.
Yeah.
Because I thought that mean you. That is
Yeah,
amazing.
yeah, they came to me. That was the genesis.
Yes.
So
But when it was like,
so for you, when was
for
it
me,
kind of brought
for
to
me,
you?
I never. Well. For me, it's been a longer situation because I was approached back in 2005. Back in 2005, there was a guy by the name of Bobby Smith Jr.
yes,
and he wrote a movie called Jason's Lyric. And he approached me in 2005 and said that I think that I can do a movie on your life. I want to do a movie on your life. And he took me into Lionsgate and New Line Cinema and sold the movie in the room. Sold it in the room. And, but I'm not the kind of person that's going to think that something like that's going to be good. Because I don't know that my life is a movie,
Right.
but because you live in your life, you don't know what it is. And so there was a big writer's strike in Hollywood in
Right.
2007.
yeah, man.
And it shut
Changed the
down
industry.
shut down a lot of Hollywood during that process of them figuring out what they were going to do with me. And so because they had the rights to the movie and the story, it had to sit kind of through that. And then I met Devon in 2001 when he was putting out the movie through TD Jakes' thing. What was the movie?
Oh man, was
the
it
big comedy?
Oh, the Jumping the Broom.
Jumping the Broom.
Jumping the Broom.
Jumping the Broom.
That would have been in 2011.
2011.
Yeah,
I'm sorry,
yeah.
2011. And we just met at an event and just became real cool.
Yeah.
And then I was in LA for just some other meetings, and a guy that was repping me at the time took me to his office, and the guy was blown away because me and Devon spent the whole meeting talking about our lives together,
Right.
his
Gospel
brother,
music
gospel
and his-
music.
Yes.
And the agent is sitting there like, well, now this is a little bit.
But this is crazy. Okay, this is y'all. This is me. They make the cut. But speaking of my brother, so here's this. Our stories have been so interconnected.
Yeah,
So
it's crazy.
So Kirk goes to perform at my younger brother. He went to Oakwood University,
Okay.
which is kind of the African American university within the Seventh
Yes,
Adventist religion.
Got you. Huh?
And the
It's
Adventist,
like the Morehouse Spelman
there you go, exactly.
of Adventist,
Yes,
of African American Adventist.
in Huntsville, Alabama.
Yeah.
And so it is it's kind of conservative. So Kirk goes to
Kinda.
perform. It's changed over the years.
Yeah. Then it was more.
So my brother was a freshman, I believe, at
Uh-huh.
the time. Kirk goes to perform there. He starts to do his thing, his performance. The administrators don't like it.
the president of
Pulls
the
the
university.
plug on the performance.
While I'm performing, the president goes blink and shuts everything off.
The whole thing.
But guess what song I was performing?
Please don't tell me.
Our God Isn't awesome? He thought that beat up under
was too much.
Was too much.
So my younger brother,
there was a protest.
Literally gets on the microphone and leads a rally. He almost leads a riot right there. This is wrong. How could you do this? Yeah. We're supposed to be for God.
And then there were other students that were conservative like the school, and so they were getting into it. And I just did the church finger, and I just left.
I gotta go. I got to go.
But what's beautiful though, just to make sidebar, the university invited me back this past year. Yes. And they were so kind and so gracious, and they were apologetic. I'm like,
wow.
No, I was like, y'all, I'm good.
I forgot.
I'm good. I'm good. And it was one of the dopest concerts I've done in years.
Now, the thing about you, Kirk, is that your story, you've kind of told your story over the years. It's been it's almost been like you've been peeling back layers.
I heal as I reveal.
It's honestly how it looks from you being on Oprah and then talking about your dad, and it's like over the years we've learned so much about you. So when it comes to this biopic, what are you most excited for us to kind of see when it comes to your life?
Well, and more than anything, is I just think extremely humbled that there would even be any interest in wanting to know, because again, and Devon hates this part about me as a big brother, well, as a big little brother, right. Is that I am always probably the most insecure guy in the room. Like I'm the only time that I'm very secure and comfortable is when I'm in my space. Mm-hmm. Like if I'm on stage and I'm in the middle of it, or if I'm speaking and I'm in the middle of it. But when I'm done, it's like, okay, how was it? How did I do? So I have been so thinking that people have an interest is very humbling. But I think that we are very committed to make sure that it is a story that is honest. Yeah. That we don't want to make a Christian movie.
Right.
We want to make a movie about a guy that happens to be a Christian.
Very important.
And I think that type of tapestry gives everybody an opportunity to be engaged. I think that when you don't present that type of narrative, then it can leave certain people out. But just because I have people that come to me that have got straight out of prison, or people come to me that say that they love my music and they use profanity. Right. You know what I mean? They come straight from the club or whatever. And I want people to be able to come to the movie and to be able to feel like, man, that's he went to. Yeah. Well, really? Wow, man, I had no idea. And I can guarantee you that we're not going to edit it.
No, it's gonna be raw.
It's gonna be raw.
It's gonna be ugly.
And Devon, so this, because we've seen a lot of biopics lately come out, and we've seen them on like BET with Bobby, the Bobby Brown story, and is this?
And they've been great ones.
And they've been great. Is this gonna be TV, or is this gonna be made for the?
This is a feature film. So, we've set this up with Sony Pictures Entertainment. That's where I used to work. That's where I was for 10 years. And they're completely behind it, very, very supportive. So this will be a theatrical release. It'll be in theaters all around the world. So we're very excited about it, working on the script right now. And I think what Kirk said is super important, that it's going to be real. And too often when it comes to portrayals of people of faith, we want to portray the faith part, but we don't want to portray where the faith had to come out of. One of the things that makes Kirk so powerful is that he's gone through a lot. You can't create music the way he creates if you haven't been through a lot. So we want the movie to be honest. It's going to be entertaining. It's going to be nothing like anyone's ever seen. If you love Rocket Man or Bohemian Rhapsody or the New Edition story, wait till you see Kirk's story. It's going to blow you away.
And to the point that we both agreed that we are not trying to even make it fit within a rating system.
Right.
That's right.
That we're going to let it be once the story, once the script is done, and when they assign a director, just whatever the script needs to be, just whatever rating it is, I'm cool with that.
Right.
Like I'm not trying to make The Lion King Part 2. You know what I mean? I'm
rated G and
animated.
It's not animated. This is a real story.
Yeah. So just wherever it needs to fall, as long as it's truth.
Right. And so we've all been asked this question at one point in time in our lives. If you had somebody, play you in a movie, who would you want it to be? So this is literally now an opportunity for you to say, you know what, Plies? I know you out there.
Man, listen, this dude hit me up on Twitter yesterday, and he was serious. He's like, I know y'all think this is a joke, but Plies should really play Kirk for real.
No, but for real. It's a real thing now. So think about it. Like, you got to think about a guy who's going to play you.
I'm not going to think about that.
You're not going to have any say in that?
No. Well, yeah. But I'm not sitting around right now going, You know, is it Emmanuel Lewis? You know,
Is he available?
Is it Kevin? Is it busy? Can I afford him? You
Right.
know? You know?
So Devon, for you, for putting the cast together for
Yeah.
this, it's like, of course for Kirk,
Oh
that's
my
that's the
God.
main role.
This is amazing.
What goes through your mind, and what's the process of working with Kirk, working with the Sony
Yeah.
to find somebody to play this role?
Yeah, I mean, the way I usually like to do it is to commit to the process. The process will always reveal who's supposed to do what.
Mhm.
And so with who's going to play Kirk, we're going to go through a process. We're going to do a, worldwide search. We're going to leave no stone unturned. I guarantee you the right actor, whether they're known or unknown, is going to reveal themselves that they're the ones meant to play Kirk. So whoever that may be, we don't know, but we're going to go through a search to make sure we find it, because
And-
you got to find someone who can bring him to life. And Kirk is much more complicated than people know. And we need to find an actor who can capture those complexities, because you all see one Kirk,
Right.
but the real Kirk is much more of a Rubik's Cube that we want to capture.
And stay on that real
I
quick.
did not know that.
And no, but honestly, with this, what happened this week with the protester, and we're talking about this biopic and the person that you are, and the multi layers that you have. Not many people would go confront a protester who's protesting them, on the corner outside their concert. First of all, why did you do it? And second of all, did you end up having a conversation with him after your show?
And what was very interesting is that the venue was down the street from a gym, and I just went to the gym about an hour or so before that. And so as I was leaving the gym, walking back to my tour bus that was parked right outside the venue, I could hear something. I could hear something. And every time I asked somebody what it was, people just started to downplay it. So, we don't know, Basically, they knew what was going on, but they kept downplaying. And so I finally was like, yo, what is that? What is that noise? And it was like, man, we got somebody at the protest. And I said, oh, really? And, I'm just always inquisitive. Like I'm very inquisitive as to why people don't like me.
Right.
Or what it is about. Just because what people don't know is that I work very hard at wanting to be right. I do. I mean, from accountability to asking questions to, trying to make sure that theologically the music mirrors the text, and trying to make sure that I'm trying to be 100% with Tammy, even when I fall, even when I mess up, even when I have my areas of struggle. So when I see somebody, boycott after all these years, it's like, you still out there boycotting? It's like,
he came for you. He came specifically for you.
He came for me. And
Right.
he had a problem with me at them BET Awards.
Yeah, he
sure
did.
He had a problem with it.
Yeah, he
bro.
watched the whole
He
show.
did.
And was able to quote everything that happened,
man. I was
at
shocked.
that show, so he could come at you
He watched
about
the
it.
whole show. And so, and so going over there, and I think more than anything that really broke my heart, and then it pissed me off, but what broke my heart is when he wouldn't shake my hand.
I saw it in your face.
That broke my heart. Yeah, and so
But real quick, when he uses scripture to back up the reason to not,
it was
shake-
out of context.
Okay.
Yeah. That context was for unbelievers. Those were for people that were intentionally against this new theology or this new doctrine of Jesus Christ. So to say that I fit that within a bibliocentric text or context, he was eisegeting scripture.
And I think why this biopic is gonna be so big and so great is because when I saw what you did with that protester, and when you don't see people do that,
And isn't it interesting that the release of the talk about the movie came out the same week?
Same week.
And
that's
that was
what I
not
mean.
planned.
And that's why I think it's so amazing, because we're really going to see the person that I've seen behind the scenes.
Wow.
You know what I'm saying? And the person and the layers that and why you have so many layers, and why that you had to go through so much, and why you're here right now.
Did you do that on purpose?
No.
Oh, that
I
just
didn't.
happened.
Just happened.
Yeah.
That was all
And
God.
Devon, I want to ask you this, being a preacher and using scripture, and for people who are watching this, and I think it's a good opportunity to talk about this. When people use scripture, you know what I'm saying, to kind of to go against somebody, to rail against somebody, to say that you're in the wrong, and they try to back it with these scriptures. How does any Christian and anybody, say, well, they use it correctly, they didn't use it correctly, when you come in from a text?
Yeah, I mean, if we're really being honest,
Mm-hmm.
the Bible is far more complex than most modern Christians care to research to fully understand.
Right. Mm-hmm.
Meaning there's so many things that were written that were specific to context, to audience at that time, that some texts are very hard to even extrapolate relative to today's understanding because it was written in a different language for a different time. So I think the one place where we can never go wrong, even in light of all that, the greatest commandment is love.
Yeah.
At the end of the day,
Yeah.
when we stand before God, he's not going to say, how well did you exegete a text?
Yeah.
How well did you come against your brother? All we're going to be asked is, how well did you love them?
Yeah.
And did through your love of them, did they come to know me? And so at the end of the day, if we can operate there, I think we're going to be fine.
Even when you talk about the wrath of God, and when we see just the fingerprint of God all through the canon of Scripture, it was always God responding to disobedience. It wasn't God coming out the gate
Right.
whooping people. You know
Right.
what I'm saying? It's the same way that me and you would do our sons or with our daughters. Like, okay, now you broke your curfew.
Out of love, though.
You broke. That's what I'm saying. It's like, come in. But, just like when I tell my daughter, don't be coming here at 12 o'clock and anything after 12 open is Whataburger and legs.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And so, that's what I tell my daughter.
Wow.
So that's what you need to
Okay.
bring. You need to bring your butt home because,
Right.
there's only 2 things open after
Right,
midnight.
right.
And so if I have to discipline her, I'm disciplining her because I know what's out there.
Right.
I don't discipline her because I don't love her. I'm trying to get her to respond to something that is an area of protection. And so what the brother missed, which I humbly believe, and just so that people know, we did have a conversation afterwards. And I'm trying to figure out when and how I want to discuss that or share that. But I can, just say here that it didn't go well, and he had his crew with him. I called my pastor on speakerphone, and if anybody knows of Dr. Tony Evans, he's the first African American to ever get his PhD from a seminary in the country, and just a very astute theologian, very humble guy. And so it was very disappointing for a lot of people. It wasn't surprising, but I'll give more context more at another time.
Hey, I just appreciate you guys taking the time to talk about this. Like I said, it broke yesterday, and I'm glad I had an opportunity to talk to both of y'all today.
Yeah.
So I really appreciate it,
worked out.
especially you being on tour, and
Yeah.
I really appreciate you taking
No, man,
your day
anything
off to
for
come
you,
in,
man.
man.
Long
I
live
appreciate
love.
it, brother.
Anything
brother.
for you.
Thank you very much,
Yeah.
man.